Hello, my friends, and welcome. I hope you're all doing really well. It's been a little while. This is because I've been away on a meditation, I say retreat, but it's not, well, retreat in the sense of the word that you don't really speak to the rest of the world. Yes, but it was very difficult. So, but I feel like I've been put through a juicer. Do any of you know that thing where they used to wring out clothes? Like they used to put it through and then it used to bring out the clothes dry. That's how I feel. I feel like I've been juiced. So I'm feeling pretty good and ready to come back and do some cards. Another reason why I haven't been doing cards is because of my Shamanism channel, which I've been doing videos for. So if you're interested in any of the shamanic work or have an interest in doing some shamanic work or just interested about shamanism, do hop on over there. I'll link it down in the description box below and check out my videos on there. So, without further ado, we have got 3 piles to choose from. And this is about what do you need to know right now. This is like what spirit has to tell you right now, what the universe has to tell you, what just needs to be said to you right now. We've got pile 1, which is the Dream Within Dreams Tarot, and this gorgeous carnelian. We have pile 2, which is this beautiful green calcite and the Rainbow Heart Tarot. And pile 3, we have this gorgeous rubellite or pink tourmaline. So what do you need to know right now? Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. As always, time stamps will be in the description box below. I'll see your reading, but do remember, this is just a general reading, and these are messages for a collective, lots of people. So if a message isn't specific to you, or triggers you in any way, just leave it, Maybe choose another pile, go to another reader, I don't know, just leave it. But otherwise, I'll see your reading. Bye. Pile 1, hello and welcome to your reading. So good to be reading with you again. I haven't been here for ages. I haven't been doing any readings for ages, so it's really nice to be here. Sacral chakra, orange, passion, creation. Something is bubbling, my beautiful pile 1. Something is needing your attention and needing you to be kind of mindful of what it is exactly that you are looking to create. If you haven't been in a creative mood of late, it might be useful to think about it. Maybe you've been thinking about it, but you haven't taken any action. There's something that's actually needing to get out, if I'm honest. This black that I'm seeing here kind of makes me think that, sorry for the glare on the light, there we go. Like that black that you can see in the stone, which is absolutely gorgeous, kind of says to me that there is something that is needing to be extracted, needing to come out. If you haven't done shamanic journeying before, shamanic journeying is a really good way of being able to get rid of that sort of stuff. If you're looking for some kind of work, not just shadow work, it's something slightly different, but nonetheless, it will still extract those things and help you to be able to take that out. But for those of you that are just looking at something and seeing what it is that you could do to kind of extract that in a different way, and be able to put it into some kind of creative channel, let's have a look what the tarot has to say. Could give you some other kind of advice. Now, we've chosen the Dreams Within Dreams tarot. Look at that, the King of Wands on the bottom with the Magician in reverse. Fire. So, yeah, I don't know if you are thinking that if you go for your dreams or if you go for whatever it is that you want to go for, you may feel like you're manipulating. There may be a sense of imposter syndrome or something I'm seeing. Yeah, so let's have a look. Dreams within dreams, Tara, as I was saying just before, I think there's something about your dreams. Pay attention to your dreams. If you're not remembering your dreams, for those of you who don't remember your dreams, there are techniques to help you remember your dreams. And one of them is just by journaling, you know, just making the incentive to kind of like try and remember your dreams. It makes wonders in you being able to remember your dreams by just having the incentive to remember it. I was talking with someone yesterday that they were saying intention is everything, and indeed it really is everything. So if you make an intention to remember your dreams, then you're more likely to remember them rather than if you don't. So have a go. Right, let's have a look. What does my pile ones need to know? Pile ones. Dear Spirit, what does my pile ones need to know? Okay, so we've got the 10 of Cups. We've also got the 8 of Swords. We've got Deja Vu, which is an extra card in the deck. And then we've also got Strength. Okay. So, I don't know. It seems to me that there's been some dreams that you have like wanted to happen. I just came back from this meditation course, and the thing that stuck out to me, or one of the things, there were many things, because I was there for 20 days. Like, if you wanted things don't happen and unwanted things happen, right? They do. That's life. So there seems to be some kind of restriction on your abilities because you think that, you know, oh, I haven't got this. I didn't get this. So, okay, I'm feeling a little bit dejected, disappointed, whatever. Okay, I'm just thinking how to do this. Because I don't know, like with some card readers, they lay out cards in a certain way. And I remember like before, I used to do like the other cards, the Oracle cards first. But this time, I'm thinking of something different. I'm thinking on my feet, which is what I usually do for my tarot readings. I don't usually plan them too much. I like to improvise. So, a dream that was supposed to happen didn't happen. There's kind of like a sense of wanting something but can't actually reaching it. We've got this card here, beautiful card, but it's like this reaching out. So it's almost like the thoughts, maybe a sense of rejection previously, that attributed to the fact that, you know, you didn't get what you wanted. Deja vu is really interesting, actually. I don't know what this means. I'm just going to check what no, hang on. I want to check what the book says, and I am going to, but it's feels to me a bit Groundhog Day. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't seem very positive in that respect. It seems to me like, but only in the context of what we're thinking about. Because I don't know, as I said, like even though this inclusion is like a dark spot and it's usually like a thing of beauty, in this case I'm feeling like something needs to be extracted from you. There's some kind of like negative thought pattern. Within shamanic practices, negative thought patterns manifest and then they fester within people. Same like with a negative thought pattern if you were to look at it psychologically in the Western terms. So, you know, it's a thing. And then when it festers, then it starts to destabilize and actually eat upon one's strength. And, you know, there's this sense of calm here in this strength card. She's very chill. But when it's reversed, to me, it means that there's this sense of disharmony, almost a sense of not being able to cope as well as you wish or you hope. Let me have a little look at what that deja vu card, the book might give some more insight. Well, the book is about as big as a gnat's like Bible. I don't know, it's tiny, like it's really, really small. And everything I said is exactly what it is. If it was reversed, then that means that you're starting to kind of move beyond that. But now You actually are going through the same pattern. So this is a pattern that's happened before. This is something that's happened again and again and again. And I don't know whether or not it's like your reaction to a disappointment. And this is what needs attention. Now, I've got a bit of a princess and the peace thing here that's arising. It seems to me that it's a disappointment, and from this disappointment it instigates some kind of negative thought pattern, and then this happens again, and then it actually becomes quite serious. So the good news is that this is something that there's a change here. The Eight of Swords is a very ephemeral card. It's swords, for one, which is thoughts. Another thing that I learned on the meditation retreat, and usually like pile 1 attributes to me, so this is probably like for me just as much as it is for you, pile 1. The Eight of Swords, thoughts, whatever you're thinking, thoughts become words, become actions. So if you're thinking positive thoughts, they become positive words, they become positive actions. If you're thinking negative thoughts, they become positive words, they become positive actions. And it is so important to instigate a sense of positivity within yourself, the way you talk to yourself. We haven't got the Queen of Swords here, so there isn't like major self-deprecation. To me, this seems like more of a reaction to a negative situation that hasn't happened. Let's have a little look. Let's go a little bit deeper into this. Okay, Page of Wands, yes. Okay. The King of Cups. Reverse, the Five of Swords. Ah! Okay, that's the one that turned up. So I'm only going to take that one. The other two, okay, right. Four of Swords. Page of Swords. Ace of Wands. Okay, I mean, the Ten of Cups is clarified by the Page of Wands. It's like you have these bubbling ideas, you have these new ideas. It's almost like you could have a real talent for some things. And you find that you've got this talent for things. You find that you're pretty good at it. But then, I don't know, there's some kind of disappointment that occurs. Or something doesn't come to fruition in the way that you anticipate. I do also feel that sometimes you may be thinking that you want to do it with someone. I don't know, take that as it resonates. But it may be that you want to, you want to do it with someone. You want to, you don't want to be on your own while you're doing this. Ten of Cups kind of like, sorry for the shake there. Ten of Cups kind of correlates to, you wanting a family unit or a unit, maybe doing something with someone. If this is to do with work, it could be that you want to work with someone. But what's really interesting is that you actually have more strength when you work on your own. Because the Nine of Cups is more about the wish, and also we've got like this family situation with puppies. And then here we have upright, we have this woman on her own. With this beautiful, all the colours. So I think, and also this is just green. So I think that there's a focus. There's too much focus on there's a bit of like FOMO, or maybe thinking of other things. Maybe wishing that things were something else, or when you see other people doing things, there may be a bit of that. The Five of Swords is real disappointment. Disappointment in what is going on. And I'm not going to lie, Pole One, it really destabilizes you. Really does. And it's such a minor thing. Because you've got such kind of mastery here. Particularly with the Nine and the Page. This page is really lovely. It looks like a monk. Somebody who's kind of got to, who's actually finding some kind of mastery over that fire. So it's almost like you have that. But I don't know, the thoughts seem to overtake stuff. And it's really interesting because they're looking into the mirror, and then we see that, and then the back is turned. So it's almost like there is a real kind of lack of seeing the opportunity here. The King of Cups reversed with a destabilization. I don't know. Now, there's two things that could be here. It could be a male figure within your life that, not necessarily the father, but a male figure. It could also be past relationships. For example, if you've been with particular males and, you know, they've just not been very stabilizing, that could also be a factor to you thinking about like your overall happiness. Because we've got quite a few cups here. We don't have any pentacles. So this is to do more so with the emotions and how the emotions control oneself. It could be to do with a relationship, but it also, I think more so, is to do with how you see yourself, like how your emotional state really dictates how you live your life and how you go forward and how it makes you feel. That's what I'm feeling here. Interesting. Very interesting. So, Spirit, like, okay, what with all of that being said, what do my pile ones need to know? How can they, like, get over this situation? How can they work through this situation? Because you've got it here, like you've got this Nine of Cups here, which says to me that there's a real strong manifestation energy that you have here. But I don't know, the thoughts tend to overtake it. I don't know, there also may be some of you that may like adapt what it is that you want. Like some of you may think because you didn't get what you wanted, then you might actually adapt what you want, and then that may destabilize you because you're thinking, oh, actually, it's not really what I want, but it's okay, I'll settle for this. Do you know what I mean? Remember, that might only apply to some of you. But, yeah. We're just trying to look at the whole situation, do you know what I mean? Okay, so we've got Two of Swords reversed. Page of Swords. Seven of Cups. This is how you're going to remedy this situation, yeah? Oh, sorry. Everything's all precariously balanced. Eight of Swords again. Pile one, there's a lot of victim of your own way of thinking, all right? So, fix it. There's this really good guy. He's called Dear Modern. Check him out. He's really good. He does like interior design of like spaces, and you know he's really to the point. When people are moaning about their space and they're like, oh, I don't have this space or this space to like do what I need to do, and then he's like, well, fix it. And this is what this is. Like, just fix it. You can do small changes to improve something. Okay, first off, right, there's some kind of like erratic behavior that needs to kind of, you know, you can, I don't know, like there's either some kind of erratic behavior where there's a reaction without thinking, and there needs to be some kind of checkup on that. And then there's some like avoidance and not really approaching a situation in the way that one should. So the main thing here I'm getting, pile one, is you have to consistently communicate with yourself. You have to consistently communicate with yourself. See the reality of the situation of where you are, and you do have the capacity to do that. And you also have, you know, a tendency to get into this space where you put yourself in this loop of negative thinking, or thinking that you're trapped within a situation. So this has to change, all right? Let's get some more. Let's get some more. Okay, well then that makes sense. So I think there's a real need to acknowledge that there is pain that still needs to be healed. If you are looking at situations and you are feeling that twinge of like envy, or like you're feeling that there still needs things to be healed, and there still has to be ways of you to heal that, and we're going to get into that with the oracle cards, but it feels like there's still pain. But the thing is, right, what I get with the three of swords is that this is a little bit self-inflicted. I'm not gonna lie. You can get out of this. You can heal from this. Because swords are, as I said, the fastest in the deck. Swords, and then wands, and then cups, and then pentacles. So you can get out of this pattern. It's not, once you get yourself into the groove, I think. I want to know, what can pile one actually do? Like, what can they do to get themselves healing of this pain? How can we, like, get pile one to heal themselves of this pain? Well, I was going to do that with the oracle cards, but maybe I'll do that with the... okay, nice. So it's remembering, so love, oh my God. I tell you, when I was in my Vipassana sitting, that's all it was. It was like love. You have to remember love. Love. And I'm not an advocate of psychedelics, but if you do use them, there may be some answers in the journeys that you've had with them. I'm not telling you to go use them. I'm saying there may be some elements that there may be something in those journeys. Maybe revisit the journeys that you had with them. But there's something quite fundamental. The guru is the Hierophant. So that means that this is going back to the systems that you know. Go back to what you know. Go back to the stability of self. And that will help you to gain some kind of like honest perspective on a situation. Too many cards. Thank you. Page of Swords is clarified by the High Priestess reversed. Okay, there's a lack of like in listening to one's intuition, like deeply. If you don't listen to your intuition, it's almost like it creates this kind of like big knock-on effect that would be really good for you to. It actually, in a way, it contributes to you making quite not so great decisions. So I think it's important for you to really recognize that these are major things. Let's see how we fix this High Priestess. Wow, 10 of Cups. So I know this sounds so cliche, but it really is like having gratitude for what you already have. Having thanks for the things that you have, being grateful for even the experiences. I know this is so difficult, like honestly, when you're in a really dark situation, how can you see the good or the benefits of a situation when you're in so much pain, like that Three of Swords? But that will help you. It will help you. And it's not about being like fake about your pain. It's not like saying, oh yeah, no, it's about acknowledging the pain, recognizing that you feel it, feel the pain, enter the pain, be there, and then allow it to be, and then just see how long it lasts. And trust me, it doesn't last for a long time. It really doesn't. When you allow it to be, but when you resist it, it does. We've got the Fool here. I mean, there's a real opportunity for a new beginning, for you to start again, for you to really reprogram your way of thinking in terms of how you can change your emotionality. So some powerful stuff here, pile 1. Love it. Okay, right, and we've got the Queen of Wands reversed. Okay, so 2 things here. There could be a sense of... Now, the Queen of Wands reversed always reminds me of the Magician reversed. We got that at the beginning. So there could be a bit of bitchiness to oneself or a bitchiness to others. I'm going to let you into a little secret. Before I did the Vipassana, I was really negative, like super negative. I found the negativity was completely like consuming me. And it also had a effect on me physically. So I was just being a bitch. Let's be honest about it. Like even just all of the things, the way I was thinking, and I would notice over the 20 days, because we did it in silence and then we were meditating, I could see how the negative thoughts came in. And it would be so automatic. Like how vicious they were about the things, about the people that I saw, how cutting they were about myself. So it's really interesting to see that. And here we've got the Fool. So there's this sense of like ground zero to work from. And I really think that it would be good for you to recognize where it is in those spaces where you are not being as good a Queen of Wands as you could be. The insight to see that, is an absolute lifesaver. It honestly will save your life. So, and now I can honestly say that I have changed the way I think. I kind of like stop. If I'm thinking negatively about something, then I will be like, no. Even if I say something negative, particularly if it's like a pattern that I used to say previously, I'll be like, oops. And then backtrack and then be like, no, I shouldn't say that. Why I have to be careful about what I say, because then they manifest into actions. No matter what anyone says, the pattern of thoughts, words, actions is, it's true. It's not a fallacy. It's reality. So we have to be really careful of that. And I think that's what's here. But I feel like there's an opportunity for you to view that for yourself. Oh my God, we've got 9 of Cups twice. Listen, yeah, you've got a real opportunity. Your manifestation powers are really strong. Like, they're super strong. And I think that if you truly believe in what you want, you'll get it. So, just be really mindful of that. And it's interesting because, coming back to this thing I was talking about with the thoughts, the words, the actions, it comes back to that. Like, think about what you want to happen, not about what's not happening. Yeah? Ace of Wands reversed. Okay. So what I think about this is that, it's almost like, that's what it means. It means to me not reacting with what arises. So for example, if something, and because it's a snake, that's really interesting. So there may be some thoughts that arise, and there may be some kind of things that and then you might end up running with them like normally you would run with them. This is telling me don't run with the things that just arise randomly. Watch them arise and then watch them pass away. It's very important to do that. It's a sense of mindfulness, and takes practice. Don't think that you're going to get it immediately if you haven't done any kind of work like that before. It takes practice, but don't berate yourself if you don't get it the first time. It takes practice, okay? We've got the 6 of Pentacles here on the bottom. This says to me that you will assert better boundaries as a result of this. So it's win-win all around, my loves. Okay, let's have a look at some astrology. Let's see what kind of astrology is influencing this at the moment for my beautiful pile 1s. I believe in you, pile 1s. I believe in you. I think that there's patterns that are coming up to the surface to be eradicated. And you may be frustrated that certain things have been happening in the way, even though you've been trying to change things. And the reason why is this. It's that fundamental reaction to the disappointment. And unless we know, and that's pointed out to us, or like we recognize that, then there's no way we can see that. So don't berate yourself, or don't feel bad about it. It's just a learning process. Be kind to yourself. That's another thing I learned. Like, being kind to yourself is fundamental on this path, because if we're not, then we just end up back in the same circle and going back into this deja vu pattern. And then we lose our strength. You get me? Okay. Wow. Sun Mars. Now, Sun Mars, when it's afflicted, it's almost like you're exploding in a way. It is upside down. I will take it upside down because it feels right upside down. When it's the right way, that means that the direction is kind of like your personality and your sense of self is really positively influenced by your drive and your direction. Reversed, I will take it as that you are putting attention in the wrong spaces. So I think that's really important to recognize. Where attention goes, energy flows. You hear me? Okay, let's have a look at some earth alchemy. So this is crystals and flowers. Pile 1, messages for pile 1. I'll take that one. Thank you. Okay, Mama, Cacao and Rhodonite, which is heart opening. Rhodonite responds to the lower heart chakra. And we've also got, I think we've got water and earth here as well. Heightened sensitivity, unifying, high on love. The feeling I'm getting is about you embodying a sense of love and connection. There may be a disconnect, particularly with that 8 of Swords. Maybe a lack of belief that it's possible. I think maybe drink some cacao if you haven't done already. Maybe go to a cacao ceremony in London. They're rife, so, you know. And I think in LA as well, they do them quite a lot. But I don't know anywhere else in the States. Wherever you do, or just working with cacao, drinking it in an intentional way that helps you. And also rhodonite. And rhodonite is this stone here. How interesting. And we've got like these black. Can you see these black kind of like... And it also comes in a deeper pink as well. Like a really... Like that pink. This pink. So, you know... This is very grounding and soothing. It kind of like, it says to me that accept yourself for who you are and just start from where you are. You know, don't expect yourself to be, you know, like when people start working out and then they start looking at pictures of people who are like, you know, built and like shot, like totally like, you know, looking really hot. And then it's quite disconcerting because you think, oh God, I'm so far away from that. But really, you know, it's just one step at a time. So being kind to oneself and allowing yourself to be high on the sense of love, you know, I think that's also what the guru was saying. Like, you know, you've got this melted heart that's in there. And also like on mushroom journeys, for those of you who have done them, there's this sense, it's similar to the cacao, you know, there's this sense of really being at one with the world, at one with nature, at one with all beings, you know, really being peaceful. So there's this sense of you embracing that sense of love, really. So that's, I think, a strong message for you. Open your heart, in the words of Madonna. Open your heart to me, baby. I'll hold the lock and you'll hold the key. Okay. Unknown gift. And it is a nightingale that's singing. I love that. It is reversed. I'm going to take it reversed. Do you know why? And it's also number 5. 41. 41 equates to 5. 4 plus 1. The guru. This means you know. You know what the gift is. You know it. You know that there's a gift. You know that the gift is there. You know that there is something to indulge in for you to like recognize. So that's why I'm going to take it like that. So you know what you need to do. You know what you need. Like, you know what it is. And I think you've just got to have confidence in that. And another thing I'm noticing, yeah, right? The bird doesn't worry about whether or not the branch can take its weight. It just goes on the branch. So just be aware of that. Okay, my darlings? I want to do this one next. Okay, let's have a look. As far, I mean, from what I can gather, Pile 1, you have a lot of gifts. Like, you have a lot of stuff that is going for you. I just don't know whether or not, like, I think you just get intimidated by others and about what they're doing. Also, I'm speaking from experience because I totally get intimidated by others. You know, when I see other readers having like loads of views on their things and their subscriber count go up, I'm just like, oh, what's the point? But I love doing tarot readings, so I ain't gonna stop. I love them, and I'm gonna continue doing them. And I have got too many decks now, and too much of an obsession with decks to stop. So yeah, I'm going to be reading tarot cards for some time, I think. Okay. So just do it anyway. There are people out there that need your gift. Pile 1. Gateway. Wow, I like that. With a unicorn. So it's almost like believing the impossible enables some kind of possibility to occur. So, like, you know, that whole thing with like nobody believed that man could fly, and then the Wright brothers came and changed all of that. That sense of impossibility actually leads to a really beautiful sense of possibility. So indulge in that. You're at a point where you can really kind of make the impossible possible. And it's almost like your doubt, in a way, is a beautiful gateway. Yeah, I love that. Oh, I like 22, master number, love it. Okay, so we've got there that, I don't know if you can see that. The harmony that heals you resides in your alignment. It is a beautiful balance between the mind, body, and soul. Tune your heartbeat to the beat of the universe and align it with the highest version of yourself. Good things happen when you take the path of least resistance. Yes. You hear that, Pile 1? Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Listen to the calling of your soul. Because it wants you to listen to it. So listen to it. Okay, last card of the reading. This has been really cool. I've really enjoyed this reading. I've learned so much from it. As I said, like, for most of you who watch my readings, Pile 1, I resonate mostly with Pile 1. I always want to be a Pile 3, but I always end up being Pile 1. So good things here. So I'm looking forward to implementing this stuff. Okay, let's have a look. Right. I can choose new ways of being with myself, with others, out in the world. I mean, if that doesn't tell you how much empowerment that you have in terms of how you have a choice of what you think, in terms of how you communicate and how you put yourself out there, I don't know what does, Pile 1. So with that being said, I really do hope you've enjoyed this reading. I've enjoyed this reading. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. I promise I'm going to be posting more. I promise. If you are interested in a personal reading, do get in touch. My details are down below. The only way that you can get a reading from me is by emailing me. So do that. Also, if you are interested in shamanic work, I'll put the details down in the description box below so that you can check out the videos. I do a free course on shamanic journeying, which is absolutely brilliant for this kind of thing. It gives you a whole nother level of insight into your spiritual allies and your spiritual kind of toolbox. So do check that out. But otherwise, lots of love to you. Have a wonderful morning, evening, night, day, whenever you choose to watch this. And remember that honesty is always key. Bye. My wonderful pal too, hello and welcome to your reading. I hope you are all doing really well. Really good to be saying that. It's been such a long time. What I'm getting initially from your pile 2, is that there is something that you might be forgetting, something that you might be neglecting. There may be a sense of self-care that you're not instigating and not doing. This is a really careful, calming, beautiful, nourishing stone, which is about you taking the time to take care of yourself. And I don't know, it just took a while for me to actually get down to your reading. So it may be that you are allowing distractions to stop you from being able to actually take the appropriate care of yourself. But let's have a look at what the... let me just light some incense. Let's see. There's just like fundamental things that I'm forgetting to do, which is really interesting. So, yeah, I think that there's something for you to kind of remember about yourself, so that you can just make sure that everything is in place. Like, just make sure all your checks and balances are there. Because, yeah... there's just a lot of distraction prior to this reading. And I knew that that was going to be significant. That's why I'm saying it now. So, but it does feel like the end of a cycle. It feels like the end of maybe this was something that you knew that was going on. So, yeah. And there may be like anxiety about it as well. Okay, what does pile 2 need to know? Okay, let's go with the cards that have upturned. The 3 of Wands, the 5 of Cups. Okay. Reversed. So there were certain plans that went out, and they're still kind of coming through. It does feel that you may have had some disappointment about them, and about things that didn't work out, particularly with other people. But what's happened is actually you've managed to forge some really good relationships as a result of that. Page of Swords, there seems to be some communication stuff going on. So it might be that the people that you are getting on with at the moment may be online. It doesn't feel like they're people who are close, but it may be that people that were close to you or weren't that close to you initially, and now that they're building up in that. And then you've also got the Hierophant. So I'm feeling that you've got this... You've kind of followed the pattern of what you've done previously. You have made sure that you've done the things. So, I was talking initially about like personal care and about making sure that you were taking care of yourself, making sure that you're being kind to yourself. You may have been doing all the things that would have been deemed as looking after yourself. But there may be, I don't know, let's have a look. Okay, the Lovers, interesting. Page of Swords, 10 of Pentacles, okay. the Six of Wands. What do you need to know right now? What does my pile 2 need to know right now? Okay, so pile 2, I think what you need to know right now is that you're on the right track, even though it doesn't feel like it, even though you may be feeling quite exhausted with things, or you may be feeling that I don't know, like it does feel that you have got some kind of success. But I don't know, maybe you're comparing yourself to other people. And I do really think that you've made the right choice. And I think you know that you've made the right choice. So stick to that. I think that, you know, you're trying to assimilate some kind of stability where there wasn't before. And that's where the doubts might come in. But you have made the right choice. You know, the Emperor reversed 4 going to the Hierophant 5 upright, which says to me that you are assimilating this stability. You are actually successful in it. I don't know if you might think that you're not. I think there may be a bit of doubting oneself, if anything. But to be fair, like all of the indicators are saying to me that you are successful. I would say probably don't rely on other people to tell you that. Because this is what's here. The Emperor reversed. A little bit. What's that about? 3 of Wands. Emperor reversed. I think you had some real disappointment. You had seen how things hadn't worked previously. This could be to do with a personal situation. It also could be to do with some kind of father wound as well. Or like male wound. More so father when we're talking about the Emperor. Which kind of is associated with stability. So what you've done is you've actually used, you know, your heart and your spirit to make plans that are congruent with your truest, highest sense of values. And then you have decided to go forward with that. Now, you have been successful, but probably not to the level that you wish that you were successful. And I think that it's coming. The Page of Swords here is about this communication. There is a tiny bit of avoidance here, but it's okay because there's this sense of like trepidation, I feel. There is also maybe a slight bit of fear from how you're going to be viewed by people. It really doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter if I tell you that or not. It matters about whether or not you feel that way. You have to feel comfortable within a particular situation. There is this sense of keeping up with the Joneses, but there is also a sense of knowing what the truth is of the situation. So there is a little bit of immaturity there, but it's like it's what's just probably instigating the fear. I think what more than anything here is like that there is I don't know, I just feel like you maybe don't believe that you're doing the right thing. And I think, or that you're doing you're like, am I doing what's right? Like, I think it's right. I think it's okay. I think I'm on the right path. This is a confirmation to say, yes, you are. What you're doing is right. What you're doing is good. You've got big thumbs up here. The green calcite is kind of like telling me that you just need to be a bit kinder to yourself, because the Emperor reverse can also be somebody that's like ultra harsh to themselves, so harsh that to the detriment that they are just literally focusing on the negative. But I don't really see that here. I see that in a way it kind of like spurs you on, and I think that what needs to be said here is that the choices that you make are actually really good. They're really good. This is what this reading is here to confirm, that what you're doing is great, pile 2. Wonderful. Love that. Love that for you. Let's have a little bit of a deeper look into this. So what you're doing, you're on the right path, pile 2. You're on the right path. Okay. The World. Okay. Right. So there's definitely like unfinished business. Interesting in the Hermit. So you've had to like go into this space where you've had to really assimilate what's correct for you, what's right for you, what your values are, what it is that you want to do, and be really direct with that, and make course and plan the course and set sail for it, because there's been some big crap like in the background. There has been. I don't know if you've come from like quite a dark family situation or something, but there is, you know, Emperor reversed is not nice. There is something that you're sailing away from, and it's provided the perfect impetus, the perfect fuel for you to go forward and really change things for yourself. You also understand, I think, to a certain extent, that this is not like, you know, this is not the completion. Like, this is not where I am. Like, this situation, what has happened to me, is not the end. So I'm moving through this, which is brilliant. And whatever you've done in terms of introspection, it seems like a fantastic thing that you've done. I feel like, Pile 2, you just need reassurance, and this is what this is. Look at that. Yeah, totally. Queen of Wands. You are manifesting like an MFR, right? Seriously, you really are taking your destiny into your own hands, and you're making it yours, truly. You're not relying on anybody, and you're doing what you need to do. And really, I don't know, maybe there is a bit of imposter syndrome, like things are starting to bloom and come into its own now, and you're thinking, can this really be happening? Is this really possible? You know, there may be a little bit of disbelief. That's the only thing I'm kind of really seeing. And a bit of comparison thievery here. You know, comparison is the thievery of all joy. So, like, it's just kind of, you just really need to be aware of that, because you've got some good, strong cards here that are telling me that you really are on the right track. Whatever it is, it could be that you walked away from a relationship. It could be that you walked away from a situation. It could be that you walked away from a job. You know, yeah. I mean, this is not for everyone, but I've just seen this. So basically, like, some of you could have gone from one job into another, and then you felt that you needed to fit into a particular dynamic in order to, like, get on with things. And you may be thinking, shit, I don't know if this is the right choice. It is the right choice. And to be honest with you, this is just like a progression. We'll have a look at like how we can kind of like work with that. But this is the only issue I'm really seeing, because it seems like you formed some good relationships, and on a lower level, you've actually like boosted your ego in a really good way. And people like you. Do you know what I mean? They do like you. So let's have a look at this 5 of Cups. Tell me a bit more. The Magician. Wow. Really powerful cards, Pile 2. 6. Yeah, oh my God. So people are really admiring your sense of fairness, your sense of kind of camaraderie. They really are enjoying who you are, and they value who you are, and it really helps like to kind of propel you within the situation. So, I mean, like, yeah, like, it's kind of like a rising above any drama. As long as you make sure that there's no drama in this story, and that if there is any drama, it's something that you're stepping outside of. But with that being said, you know, I think that's what it is, actually. I think maybe there was drama and you decided to rise above it. You might have got involved in it a little bit, but now you're just moving beyond it, which is fabulous, really, to be fair. And it could also be... Oh, fuck's sake. Sorry, this card coming up that way. That means I have to put it sideways and ruin my lovely display. Like, it could be that there was some drama, and the way that you reacted to it actually makes you really... It's really admirable. That's what it feels like. Page of Swords. Okay, the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. So, you know, there's a bit of to and fro here. Like, you know, and that's understandable with this with this Page of Swords. There's indecisiveness, a sense of not knowing, like, you know, there's a lack of stability. But we have the 2 immature, like, aspects of the Court cards. So I don't see it too much of a problem. It could also be people that you're dealing with as well. I feel that it could be people that you're trying, like who are maybe in higher positions or high positions that you're trying to placate. I think that is just a long thing anyway, isn't it? So like, let's have a look a bit more about that. Hang on a minute, something tells me to shuffle again. Yeah, I think for some of you it could be that they're people. Okay, we got that tripping squirrel. Love this card. Okay, so first thing I'm getting from here is that you need to be really careful about what it is the facts. I think for the majority, you're mostly right. What you really think about a situation, how you're perceiving a situation actually is the correct thing. What I'm noticing here is how much color we've got. We've got all the rainbow in this card here. We've got all the rainbow in this, and then we've got like banging loads of color here. And I know that this deck is really colorful, but it's just interesting with this Ten of Pentacles. So what I'm also getting is that sometimes things are for show. People act a certain way because they want people to perceive them in a certain way. But what the truth is of the situation, you can actually see it. And I think what they're trying to do, which is really interesting, is that there's a bit of like razzle dazzle that's going on here. So it seems that, you know, people are trying to make people think certain things. There's diversion. There's a distraction going on here, and it's stopping people from doing. You know, it's not intentional, but the result is destabilizing. If you know what I mean, within this situation, particularly because we got this Ten of Pentacles here, which for me is always keeping up with the Joneses. It means that there's a disruption there's stability that's going on, or like an idealization that's happening here, and you want to go beyond that. You know, you want to look beyond that rather than play to the game. I hope that makes sense. I think you understand it because you've got the Magician, you've also got the Queen of Wands. Those are two of the most powerful manifestor decks, cards in the deck. But you are being truthful. You know, there's no kind of tomfoolery on your side, and I think, you know, you be honest about that. I would also say that maybe you might be trying to get blood out of stone in a way. Now, the reason why I say that is because maybe you're trying to make people see things in a certain way when they actually can't do that. You know, when we try and convince people of a certain point of view, maybe we're trying to get people to like us, or we're trying to get people to see where we're coming from. Trust me, some people just can't see it. They just can't. They just don't have the capacity. People only have the capacity to meet you as much as they've met themselves. So it's really important to recognize that, you know, some people, you know, you don't want to try going for like some kind of reaction where you're trying to like make people like you or make people understand. Ace of Cups to me is a suppression. So it's like, I'm not going to feel this. I'll give you an example. I, you know, where I go and do this meditation, this 20-day meditation that I've just come back from, I go there and I, you know, obviously, because there's only like a small number of people that come, that it's quite a small circle of people. So often I see the same people who do it, particularly because where I do this in London, you know, or in England, you know, there's no other really, it's a bit complicated. It's the only place in Europe really that you can sit these 20-day courses. So I see that some of the same people, and I saw one person who just kind of like blanked me afterwards, and it was completely the opposite of what we should be doing at the end of this thing, because, you know, you're supposed to have metta, which is the idea of you giving loving kindness to everybody. So after 20 days of not talking, or 19 days of not talking, we have one day where we can talk. And then that's almost like a buffer zone for us to like come back into reality. And there was this one girl who I travelled on the train with her, sat opposite her, and I didn't speak to her once. And then I spoke to her at the last course that I did. And then I saw her again, and she didn't even talk to me. It was really strange. She was like kind of ignoring me, and it was completely against the kind of all of the ethics that and the stuff that would usually come with the ending of this profound time that we've all done, you know, the 30 of us, the 30 women that had taken part in this course, and the other 30 men. But there was just complete ignorance. Like, it was like, I don't recognize you. I'm just going to be polite, and then that's it. And I tried to look at this from every angle. I was like, okay, it could be that, you know, she didn't really want to talk. But I saw her talking and being very jovial with other people. So it was just really disconcerting to see that this person, and also I'd talked to her previously. I'd spoken to her, and, you know, she was very nice to me previously, and then something just changed. So rather than me going and finding out what's wrong, that's the Ace of Cups reversed. You know, it's like talking to a brick wall. There's no point. That person's got the problem with you, and you just got to let them have the problem with you, because that's them. There's no point. What was the point in making the effort of upturning the Ace of Cups, trying to get like an Ace of Cups out of there, trying to like get the water out of it when the person is just suppressing it, because there's nothing you can do. So I think that might be what the issue is, because that was the only thing I could see here, is that you may be trying to convince people of your point of view. Honestly, there's no point. There's no point. So with that little saga, that little story time, let's have a look at the last set of cards. Thank you for listening, but I hope it illustrated the point. Let's have a look. The Hierophant and the Lovers. Advice for my pile 2. The Devil reversed. Wonderful. Love that with the Hierophant. And the Lovers as well. Love that. That's amazing. And then you've also got the... Okay. What are you worried about, pile 2? Whatever you're worried about. I think you're worrying too much. I think you've got it under control. But I don't know. There's some kind of warring that's going on in your head. That you're kind of, I don't know, there's something that's happening. If you don't meditate, do me a favor and meditate, because like that would really help you. That will help you to kind of calm down and not be thinking about things so much. I think you're thinking about things too much. And trust me, like with that situation that I just described to you, I was like, it took me a day or two. I was like, why? And then it just kind of, you know, petered out, and then I was like, okay, I accept it. Even now, like I'm kind of like, oh, like why did that happen? Like, did I do something? And then you realize it's nothing to do with you. Absolutely nothing. Nothing to do with you. It's them. And once you get over that, it will be, you know, you'll be sailing. You'll be sailing. Pile 2, you got this. You got this, my darlings. You got this. Do you hear me? You got this, my babies. Okay, let's move on to your oracle. Sorry for the little shake there. Everything's on bouncy, like kind of hold things. So, yeah, I'm sorry if there's a bit of bounce there. So, now for the oracles. For those of you that have been watching my readings, I'm just doing something a little bit different. Fancy doing the tarot first. And then doing the oracles. Usually I do the oracles and then the tarot. So yeah. But you got this, my darlings. This is a confirmation to say that whatever you're doing is right. You just got some anxiety on the go, man. You got some anxiety. So whatever you do, can you turn that up and like, you know, me. The green calcite is talking to you and saying, chill the F out, man. Right, okay. Oh, sugar. No. Just one. With the anxiety that my parties might trigger some anxiety. Oh, sugar. Come on. Just one, Spirit. I love you. Oh, see, look, there's just so much you're thinking about. Okay, right, I'm just going to take this one. Sun, Saturn. No wonder. Sun, Saturn reversed. Jesus. Right, okay, listen. You have a choice about what you think, okay? You have a choice whether or not to focus on the things that you're worrying about, or you have a choice to like acknowledge that they're there and just let them float away. Can you do that? Because that will really help you out. Spirit is here to tell you, just can you chill out about what you're worrying about? Because seriously, everything is good. Everything is really good. So chill out, okay? Chill out, my darlings, chill out. Sorry, I'm trying to like do the cards so that they don't shake the table. Okay, chill out. Otherwise, because Saturn's a bugger, man. Like when you're Saturn's pretty intense. It's like the father, the one that's like the grandfather, the one who's like, yeah, you've got to do this. This has got to be right. And I mean, I know you've got this kind of intensity with the Hierophant, but Hierophant is Taurus, so it's about, you know, concentrate on the reality of things rather than thinking about worrying about the future, worrying about the past. You know, present moment awareness will be very handy for you. Wow, the diamond ray, I love that. The diamond light body. And then we have, I think that's air. I always get them mixed up. I think it's air. High frequency activations, planetary grid work. I think what this is saying is that your vibration needs to be kept high, pile 2. Anytime that you go into the lower kind of like vibrations of worry, distress, anxiety, that kind of stops the beautiful flow that's kind of coming to you. So do be aware of that, all right? So just chill out, man. Just chill out. Do what you got to do. And get on with being you. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, get on with being you. Chill out, do what you got to do and get on with being you. There we go. Nice little rhyming thing for you to think about. Little mantra. Okay. Oh, that was so cute. Service. It is reversed. Okay, so, and oh, sugar, we've got number 14. 14 is temperance and also goes to the Hierophant again. So it's reversed. So what I would say, right, pile 2, maybe go into some voluntary work in order to like help your mind a bit. Maybe that might help. Maybe if you are already doing work like that, then maybe concentrate on what you're giving, and then that will help you to kind of be a bit more grounded in what's going on so that you can remain more present. Because service is something really special. Sorry to mention it again, but the course that I go on is absolutely free. And, you know, it's the reason why it's free is because there are servers that come who have done the course. They run it and they volunteer. Which is fantastic. It's a brilliant business model. And it encourages, but then the idea of serving on a course where people have been meditating for 10 or 20 or 30 or 45 days, it's such an amazing gift of service. And once you kind of, and I've been told, because I haven't served in a long time, but when you do it, the act of service is just so beneficial for you. It just nourishes your soul in a way that is so beautiful. So think about that, you know, when you're worrying about stuff. One card, please, for my lovely pile 2, which are just bossing it right now. Voyage. We've got like these whales. And then we also have this. What happened there? Yeah, we've got voyage here and the full moon. There may be something going on around the full moon. So there are 2 things that are happening here. You can either like go on to this internal voyage of you kind of, you know, allowing yourself to journey within yourself. However you do that, that could be with shamanic journeying, that could be with meditation or whatever. But it also means going on a voyage, like going somewhere. So I think that would be really helpful for you. I mean, I'll be honest with you, like for some of you, if you volunteer somewhere, that might be really helpful to kind of dissipate this anxiety and help you feel a bit better about what's going on. That might be something to think about. Okay, so last 2 cards we've got here. Let's get you some number energy. Number energy for my pile 2. Wow, 9999. Okay, so we've got the new you is a radiant expression of divine light and love. Embraced by the angels and guided by your own inner wisdom, you are called to step into your full potential and be the shining light you wish to see in others. Remember, you hold the power to heal yourself and the world. Wow, deeply healing. So this is very interesting. Healing, healing, healing. This is very interesting for you, my lovely pile 2. So I will just pop that there. Okay, and our last card for the reading to close it out. My beautiful pile 2s who are just smashing it because you're just all amazing and I love you loads. So inspirational. Love it. Love it. Also, whale may be an important power animal or a spirit guide for you, so do pay attention to that. Oh my God, it's beautiful. I forgive myself for the times I didn't know any better. I forgive myself for the times I didn't know any better. I feel pile 2, there is ruminating. There's rumination on stuff. And I don't know if this might be a belligerent energy that came from a father figure in the past, you know. So that's what I'm getting. Please, please, this is a reminder. You got this. You're not those people. You're not that. You know, you're not this. This is definitely relating this Sun and Saturn and this Emperor reversed. It's almost like, you know, you're being super hard on yourself, and trying to live up to some kind of standard, which you know, you don't need to, because you're amazing. And the world loves you just as you are. And we love you just as you are, pile 2. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I really enjoyed doing it. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe and share this video if you feel you want to. I'd really appreciate it. Also, if you like it, it helps the algorithm see it. If you'd like to share, comment, please do. I'd love to hear your stories. But otherwise, my darlings, have a beautiful morning, evening, night, day, whenever you're choosing to watch this. And remember, honesty is always key. Bye. My wonderful pile 3s, hello and welcome to your reading. Now, I just wanted to check in with you, my darling pile 3s. Are you okay? I hope you're all right. This is telling me that I feel like you need some love, you need some nourishment. Maybe you've been disappointed by some things and you need some love. So let's have a look at what's going on. Let's have a little look. What does my pile 3s need to know right now? What do you need to know right now? Dear Spirit, what do my pile 3s need to know right now? And I'll be honest with you, this deck, you chose the Star Spinner Tarot. It's quite a sad deck. It's quite like it's, you know, there's just some, there's a kind of like a melancholic kind of vibe to it. And it's really interesting because Rubellite is about sexual love, sensual love, sensuality. We did have Rhodonite come up earlier, but Ruby's more kind of like more Lionheart centered, with pride and creation. But Rubellite is about the sexual love. So maybe there's been some kind of damage there or something, or they just need some attention there at that space. Let's have a look what the tarot wants to say to you. Okay, so we've got the Star reversed. We have the Ace of Wands upright. Okay, we have the Tower. And then we have the High Priestess. Okay, so what I'm sensing here is that maybe some of you, okay, this might be only for a few of you, but if you are looking to have a relationship, you may have been thinking, yeah, I'm ready. But then it doesn't feel like the universe is kind of corresponding to your needs in that respect. There may be a space where you didn't have hope about something, but you do actually have some kind of spark. It could also be a creative endeavor, some kind of idea or something like that, which you feel deeply intuitively guided to do. but there's just been some like things that have happened in the past. It could be also in the past, but it could also be like that you didn't have hope, and then something kind of came up, and because the ace is almost like a little seedling, but then you've got this tower, which is like almost like a flood. There's been this kind of complete kind of destruction of that hope. And then you are seeing that with some kind of perspective. You're seeing it with your intuition rather than seeing it with the ego mind, which is amazing. So let's have a little look at what else is going on. Yeah, this wants to go here. Okay. So this was concerning... And okay, so then now I think there's a realization that you're going to need to work with people in order to like get over this. You may have been working solo previously. And maybe your faith in others might be something that wasn't there either. But it does seem to me like there are possibilities. Okay, and we've got the 9 of Swords, the 2 of Cups, and the 9 of Pentacles. I mean, yeah, if this isn't to do with a relationship, then I'm sorry, or to do with you finding love, but it's feeling, you know, this is about love. And about wanting love and about wanting that kind of like validation from others, which we don't necessarily have to get, you know, it's not really necessary to have your validation from other people, but it's nice. And I think maybe some of you, this is very specific, but some of you may have had a crush on someone at work, and it kind of like played your mind, and then it kind of like, then you kind of like sorted it out, and then you realize that actually you might be just okay on your own. I think initially, like, you know, you really did well on your own, and are able to like kind of stabilize yourself by yourself, because really like your faith, I do feel like it's the faith in other people that really is quite kind of showing me that it's not really that big. But then some kind of spark happened between you and someone else, and then that kind of brought your hopes up. But then something happened to kind of, you know, stamp on that, and it really plagued on your mind. But now you're understanding that you have to work with others, and this is the whole kind of thing about working with others. So what is it that Spirit wants to tell you? Okay, I think what Spirit wants to say to you is that the expectation of others has to be really like minimal to low. Like, I don't think that you can, and it's interesting because it's quite similar to pile 1 and pile 2. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, it's been like a progression. I think really understanding like what capacity that you can see people for, and just being honest about that is going to be really beneficial for you. Let's have a little bit of a deeper look into the ins and outs of this. What does Spirit want to say to my pile 3? Dear Spirit, what do you want to say to my pile 3? Sorry if you can hear some banging. Okay, what do you want to say to my pile 3? Wow, High Priestess again. You know, I think you're so kind of strong with your intuition that, you know, it's sometimes in a way can make you, you know, the whole thing with the High Priestess is quite cold. And also with the Star in a way, because it's like almost like it's distant. Even though we have the hope, it's far away, it's not close by. The High Priestess is someone that shuts themselves off so that they can go in and do the deeper work. But as opposed to the Hermit's kind of allowed themselves to go through that process. The High Priestess is more the female cold element. And yes, receptive, but is not sensual. And that's what that stone represents. The stone and the Ace of Wands is very much about sensuality, which is the Empress. So what's going on here? What you know, let's say a bit more. Okay, Right. So, I mean, there's a kind of defiance, like not to give up on love, not to give up on things that, you know, may seem that there is no hope. Wow, and look at that, the Empress. Okay. So what I'm getting here, pile 2 and pile 3, and what's really interesting is that it is quite similar in a way to pile 1, I think, or one of the other piles, I can't remember, but one of them was like, don't give up hope. Don't give up hope in what you're doing, because you are kind of like, you know how to navigate this path, and even though you've navigated it maybe dozens of times, as we do with us who do dark night of the soul work and shadow work, it's almost quite easy to give up and be like, right, you know what, I'm done with this, you know. And I think recognition of the process, because going from the High Priestess to the Empress is the process, is part of the cycle. It's the next stage of the cycle, you know, 2 to the 3. So, and also we've got 3 here. So it's something to do with like work, creation, some kind of energy that wants to come in, but you have to remain open to it, even though it may seem a little bit hopeless. And also the fact that you know that you could probably do this by yourself, but this isn't the time for you to do it by yourself. This is the time for you to do this with other people. With the 2 of Cups there and the 3 of Pentacles, this is for you to do this with someone else, because I think you're gonna like get like quite a valuable relationship from it. Okay, Ace of Wands, 2 of Cups. Yeah, I think this is about you like starting to free yourself up. So I think what the message here is that you're going through something, and the way that you're going through it is actually part of the cycle. And I think Spirit is trying to tell you that recognize that you are in the cycle, and you know that you know this, like you know this ground, you know what's going on. This is always the message to my pile 3s. That you guys know how this rolls, but sometimes it's just difficult to roll with it. Do you know what I mean? Because it's hard. It's not easy. And it, you know, every cycle it gets a little bit easier, but you know, sometimes we get trapped in that. And I definitely found that through my Vipassana experience. Like the second day I wanted to leave, I just did 20 days. And the second day I wanted to leave. This is somebody who's a veteran. I've been doing this for 9 years. Well, I say a veteran, but I've been going to countless 10-day courses. And then on the second day course, I had a complete crisis of confidence. And I thought to myself, I don't know if I deserve to be here, all of this. And it was all about just kind of rolling with it and just kind of like understanding this is arisen to pass away, you know, it's all part of it. And I think this is it. And I think you recognize the kind of traps that your mind sets. So you understand that. To me, this shows that you see the traps and you come out of it. Wow, we got the 3 of Pentacles again. I definitely feel like you, like talking with other people, working with other people, doing things with other people. This is going to be integral to you kind of allowing this sense of, you know, allowing this Empress energy to come back into your life, because you're very much in this deep High Priestess energy. Okay, we've got the 10 of Swords. So, I mean, like, I think that there is a sense, like, you know, it's honestly the drama and the self kind of, the self, not deprecation, that's not the word I'm looking for. It's the word when you attack yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. So basically the kind of like self-attacking and like the drama that arises from that is you know, I think you're really aware of that. I think you're aware of the levels that it can get to, particularly with this Tower moment. You know, you've got Tower, you've got 9, and you've got 10 of Swords. So there's something really like that's contributing to this sense of anxiety. And I think, yeah, it's very similar to pile 1. You have to I think you're a little bit more along the path. The reactions that you you involve yourself in relation to situations that occur to you are fundamental in how things happen and how they formulate your attitudes towards other people. So I think that's what this is telling you. Like, just remember that. 9 of, yeah, definitely amazing. I see this as you coming through this. I see this as, you know, you maybe in the past you reacted exceptionally defensively, you shut yourself down, you reacted really fast, you were like quite spiky, you know, at times, but now you're starting to kind of get over that, I feel, and you're also starting to see what it is that actually triggers that, and you're recognizing those points. It's a work in progress, right? The Ace of Wands, it's really interesting because the Ace of Wands came up for pile 1, and I think and it means the same thing for me. Like, it's this thing where we have this snake, and it's almost like the reaction. You know, things that arise are going to like want to kind of make you want to react in a certain way. And there may be like, you know, you may feel like it's lost opportunities, but more, this to me is like sensations arising. So those sensations of jealousy, those low vibrational energies, they are like kind of influencing you. And, you know, you're starting to recognize like how powerful these, you know, your reactions are to certain things, or how you were triggered, basically. You're recognizing that fully, because High Priestess is here. High Priestess is deep sense of awareness, you know. We haven't got the Hermit because you haven't locked yourself away. This says to me that you're actually just taking a step back and remaining cool. Do you know what I mean? Wow. Page of Swords. Now, that's really interesting. I mean, I get 2 things from this. There could be a sense of avoidance, and there also could be a sense of detachment. If it was more detachment, I would think it was temperance. So Page of Swords is a little bit more immature. Maybe that was a coping mechanism that you did beforehand, and now you're starting to recognize that this is not, you know, you have to get out of this in order to go from the High Priestess to the Empress. I feel like this right now is a recognition of patterns, a recognition of things that occurred, and you're understanding how you reacted. And now you're thinking, right, I used to react like way over the top to this, and I know now I can't do that. The Tower moment maybe is that something happened. It may be like some kind of like medical thing, or some kind of like, the first thing that came to my head is like, you know, sometimes when, you know, you get a migraine out of the blue, or maybe something like, maybe you fainted or something like that out of the blue, and it starts to make you think, okay, what is it about my lifestyle and my habits that are contributing to this? If it's something that really scared you, which it seems to me like the Tower is usually a massive shock. So if it's something like that, then maybe that's that whole thing where you're starting to recognize the things that you've been avoiding, and how you're reacting to the triggers. But it does come from a place of deep anxiety. So there has been like low level deep anxiety about this. Okay, right, we've got the 4 of Swords. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you haven't been aware of this. Like, it might be that this Tower moment has been the moment where this has been brought up to the awareness. Exactly how I said about like how sometimes, you know, an event can really trigger something, and then you can realize how wrong something is, and then you look back and you're like, shit, actually, you know, all of these contributory factors have like made this happen. Yeah. And you're moving beyond it. You're moving beyond it. Like, I think there was a sense of you being able to like really, you know, it's really interesting actually, because I'll give you an example. Like, I was really tired all the time, and I didn't know why. And I was thinking, why am I so tired? I'm exhausted. I can't do anything. I don't really have the motivation to do what I need to do. And then when I went into the 20 days meditation, over the period of time, I realized that, you know, I was thinking in a certain way. And because these are swords as well, it's really interesting. Like, I was thinking in a certain way, and this way was actually very detrimental to my health. And it's really interesting because I went to a space recently after the meditation where usually if I went there, I would be utterly exhausted when I came home, because I'd just be exhausted and tired with people. But then with this new mindset in tow, which I kind of, really took into account and made sure that I would practice, being more positive, being more detached from what was around me, that helped me to come back from those situations, and I didn't have the loss of energy that I had had previously. So this says to me that, you're starting to recognize these patterns, and you're actually moving forward, and you're moving towards love, because you're moving towards what's right for you. It is a little bit painful because there's a little bit of sorrow here, but actually fundamentally you are moving towards love. And it's really interesting because, and I'll give another example. I realized that one of the most important things, I had lots of realizations, as you can imagine, but on the course, I realized that I have to forgive, no matter what, all of the people that have done me wrong. They may not know, or they may know that they have behaved towards me in a negative or a really damaging way. But whether or not I receive any kind of apology or recognition that has been done, I just need to move on with it, because for my health and for my sake, I have to learn how to forgive. And that's really kind of, indicative by this card. These two, they're not partying. They look pretty sad, particularly this character. The child doesn't really look too bothered, but this character looks quite sad. And then you're flowing on this water towards love. So it's almost like saying that you actually do have to forgive those, even though they don't, and even though they don't recognize it. And I tell you, since I did that, so much has changed. I feel so much happier. So it's just really interesting. Really interesting. So I think there's a bit of that. And then we got the Page of Wands. I mean, it may be difficult to dig that out, to dig that kind of sense of, that sense, that being able to kind of find this goodness in others. But you don't have to, just because you forgive someone doesn't mean that you have to go and look somewhere where there's nothing. I think with this Page of Wands, you're starting to realize where you can actually be the Page of Wands, because in this previous situation you couldn't be the Page of Wands. In that previous state of mind, you couldn't have that. You couldn't have that gentle, loving inquisitiveness, playfulness. You had to kind of walk away from that. It's really interesting how we've got the two pages. So there's this sense of almost unlearning what you've learned in order to move forward, so that you can move into this next kind of stage of being the Empress, and away from the and on, not away, but on from the High Priestess. Okay, let's have a look at some. No, I only want one. Just one. One card for my path 3s, please. Okay, I'll take that one. Saturn and Neptune. Wow. The first thing that's come to me is being hard on yourself for your dreams. Yeah. I think I've mentioned it before. There's this exercise that we did in my my NLP training, and I've also done it with clients as well. And it's called the Disney experiment, and basically, or the Disney exercise. And what you do is you put the critic, the dreamer, and the creator in 3 separate stages, in three separate places. And what you've got to do is identify each of those things, and then you've got to put a wall between the critic and the dreamer. Because if the dreamer and the critic have any kind of interaction, the critic will always shout down the dreamer. And I feel you've got to be really, because this is, and it's coming up next to the Star reversed. So in order to allow yourself to have hope for the situation, you have to make sure that your critic has nothing to do with, say, for example, when you're meeting new people, you can't come in with a critical mind about them, because if you do, then that means that you're going to be judging them, you know? Or if there's that kind of thing of like you going into a situation and you seeing what's wrong with it, you know, there's this kind of thing of like, okay, if you're going to come in critically, you've got a danger of you even like not being able to start. So there's a little bit of that, I would say. Just be aware of that. But the thing is that it's upright. So I think that you've got a good hold on that. I think this is a pattern that you're changing, I think. That's what it looks like to me. So that you can like really embody this Page of Wands, turn that the other way around and turn the Page of Swords the other way around. So that you can look at things without that sense of detachment, or once that sense of avoidance, and then really be involved. I hope this makes sense, because this is a little bit more complicated than the others. Can we have a card for pile 3, please? Just one. Okay. So we have Passion Flower and Amethyst. Transmuting, breaking addictions, nervous system. Interesting. We may have some kind of, you know, addiction to a certain way of thinking. It is reversed. And then we've got fire. Oh, actually, no, that's air. I would say that, like, there's something about resting. The colour purple, you know, resting your nervous system, resting, you know, that Sahasrara chakra, that top chakra. You know, really being mindful about that. Okay. Passion flower is also very good for sleep. So I think maybe you need to check in on your sleeping habits and your sleeping patterns to help you with this. I'm just checking, it's really dark here, but on the camera it looks fine. So sorry if you can't see the cards. It's also violet flame, so it's divine and holy, you know. So, and I saw that with the purple. So there's something very, very important about either working with amethyst. Also, yes, that crown chakra. Embrace. Wow, I saw 3. We've got like a heron or a stork. Actually, it's a stork, but I saw 3 herons today. Can you believe it? 3. Embrace. That's beautiful. I think that's about embracing situations that happen to you. Because to me, right, I feel like there was a really undesirable situation that happened. And I think I said the same thing to either pile 1 or 2, because I've been talking about this course that I did. But because I was there for 20 days in silence. So what else am I going to talk about? That's why I haven't been posting readings. You know, it's about like wanted things don't happen and unwanted things happen. So it's all about like how you just embrace that within yourself, how you embrace the fire, how you embrace the situation, whatever it is. Oh my God. It says keep trying. And you know what, like there's one mantra that the meditation teacher says, and it's number 4, which is the Emperor, which is, you know, about that stability of self. But you have number 5, which is the Hierophant with the starfish, and it's about like slowly making moves and also the ability to regrow stuff. But the main thing is that keep trying. And the mantra that my meditation teacher was saying is to keep trying, keep trying. We had to focus our breath for 7 days on one spot just below our nose for 7 days, and that was meditating for 12 hours each day. And that is probably that's a hard thing. It's called absorption samadhi, which is kind of like one of the first steps that you can become in terms of becoming really into the stream of starting to become enlightened or liberated. And, you know, to focus your attention on your breath for longer than a minute is a feat. So just keep trying. Just keep trying. So keep trying this thing. This is the thing. Like when you're an adept at this kind of work, which you pile 3s always are, you have to just keep trying. Keep trying, because you are going to get it wrong sometimes. It's not going to work out totally. And you have to just be good to yourself, patient to yourself, kind to yourself, and continuing to hope that it will change, because that's the inevitable. The inevitable thing is change. That's the only thing that we truly know is real, that we change, that things change, that change is the only constant. Okay, and your number, oh, look at that, 7, love it. So we've got synchronicity. You are a conduit of the magical, loving energy of the universe, radiating with abundance and beauty. Your path is manifesting in perfect synchronicity, reflecting how consequential your efforts are. You have put in all the hard work and are now reaping the rewards. Path 3, I might not feel like it, but trust me, number 7, it's a hard card. It's a hard number, but it means to me that you are doing something special. So take it easy on yourself. Be kind to yourself. It's going to be okay. I promise. I promise, I promise, I promise. And you know this. I don't even have to promise you. You know it because you're just fantastic, aren't you, Path 3? Just keep on putting one foot in front of the other. That's all you can, with love and kindness and all the joy that you can muster in your heart. That's all you can do. Final card to close out the reading. Let's see what is in store for Path 3. Okay, I show up for the world around me and create a positive impact however I am able. Whatever, positive words, positive thoughts, positive words, positive actions. I also said that to Path 2 or 3, 2 or 1. Making sure that you are aware of the impact that you impart on this world, Path 3, because whatever you do something, no matter what. Path 3, I hope you enjoyed that reading. This was an incredible set of readings to dive back into. Lovely and deep. I loved it. I hope you did too. If you enjoyed it, please do give it a thumbs up, because the algorithm can find it. Also, if you comment as well, the algorithm can find it. So easier. So please do that. But otherwise, my loves, have a beautiful morning, evening, night, whenever you're choosing to watch. Do subscribe if you wish for more readings. But take care, and remember that honesty is always key. Bye.